In the NFL, contract negotiations happen behind closed doors. A quiet dance between agents and the front office. Most of the time, we only hear about them when a deal is done, or sometimes, when talks break down and a player holds out. But it's rare for a star player to come out publicly and deliver a statement as blunt and potentially explosive as the one we got this week from Cincinnati Bengals defensive end Trey Hendrickson. According to a statement Hendrickson provided to ESPN's Adam Schefter, the Bengals have effectively cut off contract talks regarding a new deal. Let that sink in for a moment. One of their absolute best defensive players, a guy coming off the best season of his career, says the team is no longer talking to his representatives about his future in Cincinnati. Hendrickson's statement didn't pull any punches. He said that since the NFL draft back in April, no communication has taken place between my camp and the organization. Think about that timing. The draft passes. Other deals get done around the league, including one for a Bengals teammate. And Hendrickson says talks for him just stopped. He also addressed the offers that were on the table before communication ceased, stating they did not reflect the vision we shared and were promised if he continued to play at a high level. According to Hendrickson, those previous discussions towards a new deal have simply stalled out. And then came the most pointed part of his statement, directly blaming the team for the lack of progress, rather than using collaboration to get us to a point to bring me home to the team. They are no longer communicating. I have been eagerly awaiting a resolution of this situation. But that's hard to do when there is no discussion and an evident lack of interest in reaching mutual goals. Strong words from Trey Hendrickson. He's clearly frustrated, and he's chosen to air that frustration publicly. So, who is Trey Hendrickson? And why does this matter so much? He's 30 years old and entering the final year of the 4-year, $60 million deal he signed with the Bengals back in 2021 as a free agent. He's been an absolute revelation for Cincinnati. In his 4 seasons with the team, he's made the Pro Bowl every single year, and last season was arguably his most dominant. He led the entire NFL with an incredible 17.5 sacks and was rightfully named to the Associated Press All-Pro team. One of the first Bengals players to earn that honor since 2015. He is elite at his position. Despite that elite performance, his contract status has been a point of contention for a while. Last offseason, he requested a trade after the team initially opted not to give him a new deal, before ultimately agreeing to a 1-year extension on his existing contract. He reported for voluntary workouts last year despite the unresolved contract situation. Now, he's heading into the final year again, set to earn $15.8 million in base salary this season, which is good money, but certainly below market value for a reigning NFL sack leader and all-pro defensive end on a new long-term deal. Contrast his situation with that of his teammate, wide receiver Ja'Marr Chase. Chase, who was also an All-Pro last season, just signed a massive $161 million contract extension this offseason, making him the highest-paid non-quarterback in league history. The Bengals can pay their stars top of market value. That makes Hendrickson's feeling that the offers didn't match the vision or promises all the more significant. Hendrickson's statement this week isn't the first time he's publicly expressed disappointment with the Bengals' handling of his contract. Last month, he appeared on The Pat McAfee Show and reacted to comments made by Bengals executive Katie Blackburn at the NFL's annual league meeting. Blackburn had said, "I think he should be happy at certain rates that maybe he doesn't think he'd be happy at, and that it takes him to say yes to something. We have all the respect in the world for him." On McAfee's show, Hendrickson called those comments disappointing, precisely because the communication has been poor over the last couple of months. He also said the Bengals hadn't communicated directly with his agent about the contract, calling that something that's been a little bit frustrating. So, his statement this week directly follows up on and escalates that earlier frustration about a lack of communication. It's also worth noting that Hendrickson isn't the only pass rusher on the Bengals roster currently involved in a contract standoff. Adding a bit more context to the team's front office dynamics right now, Shemar Stewart, the 17th overall pick in this year's draft, did not participate in rookie minicamp last week because his standard rookie contract remained unsigned due to a negotiation hiccup. specifically concerning the percentage of salary paid as a camp bonus compared to other picks around him. While a different situation, it shows the Bengals are navigating multiple contract issues right now. So, where does this leave Trey Hendrickson and the Bengals? The player has publicly stated that the team has cut off talks and that previous offers didn't meet his expectations based on his performance and prior discussions. He's clearly unhappy with the lack of communication. Does this mean a trade is now imminent? It's certainly a possibility that will be discussed around the league. Hendrickson is an elite player on the final year of his deal, making him a valuable asset but also someone the Bengals could lose for nothing next offseason if they don't extend or trade him. Could this public statement pressure the Bengals back to the table? Maybe, but it also risks alienating the team further. Hendrickson is set to earn $15.8 million this season. And he stated on McAfee that he's not necessarily looking to reset the market or be the highest paid defensive end, but that there is an urgency to get something done. Organized team activities, OTAs, are set to begin later this month. Will he show up? That's the next question. Playing on the final year of a contract without an extension carries significant injury risk for a player seeking a long-term deal. This situation is a fascinating and perhaps concerning look inside the contract dynamics between an elite player and the Bengals front office. Trey Hendrickson has publicly drawn a line in the sand, citing a lack of communication and unmet expectations. His future in Cincinnati is now squarely in doubt. How the Bengals respond to this public challenge, and whether they can mend this apparently broken line of communication, will be a major storyline to follow as the offseason progresses. Nguyen Va Noi Dung Lin Quan. A contract dispute between the Cincinnati Bengals and their star defensive end, Trey Hendrickson, has escalated publicly. Hendrickson revealed on Monday, via a statement to ESPN's Adam Schefter, that the team has cut off contract talks regarding a new deal. According to Hendrickson, there has been no communication between his representatives and the Bengals organization since the NFL draft in April. He stated that the contract offers made before the draft did not reflect the vision we shared and were promised if he continued to perform at a high level. Hendrickson's frustration was evident in his statement, where he said, quote, "Rather than using collaboration to get us to a point to bring me home to the team, they are no longer communicating. I have been eagerly awaiting a resolution of this situation. But that's hard to do when there is no discussion and an evident lack of interest in reaching mutual goals." Unquote. The 30-year-old is entering the final year of his current contract and is coming off a career-best season where he led the NFL with 17.5 sacks and earned All-Pro honors. This comes after fellow All-Pro teammate Jamar Chase received a massive contract extension this offseason. This isn't the first time Hendrickson's contract situation has been a point of tension. He received a one-year extension in 2023 and reportedly requested a trade last offseason before ultimately reporting for voluntary workouts. Hendrickson had previously expressed disappointment on The Pat McAfee Show regarding comments made by Bengals executive Katie Blackburn, who implied he should be satisfied with certain offers. He noted at the time that communication had been poor and the team wasn't speaking directly with his agent. As the Bengals prepare for organized team activities later this month, Hendrickson is currently set to play on the final year of his deal, earning $15.8 million in base salary. This public declaration highlights the significant impasse between the team and one of its most productive players.